my high ticket sales journey that took me from being a new mom of two experiencing postpartum depression to landing a high ticket sales role where I could work from home. I made $15,000 my second month, and I only work about 12 hours a week. And now I can make more money than I ever dreamed possible. I get to wake up and spend each morning and each afternoon with my kids, and I even have time for self care like pickleball, the gym, getting my hair and nails done, date nights with hubby. So now I'm showing you how to do the same thing. I'm also going to share with you the biggest mistake that kept me feeling stuck and broke for over a year. Because if you're making the same mistake right now, I promise nothing else that I say is going to matter. And I'll give you a little hint. I should have learned the skill of sales first. So let me tell you a little bit about my story. I have been in sales almost my entire life. I started off selling smoked salmon. Yes, fish was my very first sales job. Cold calling, knocking on doors, getting the door slammed in my face, the whole nine. Long story short, I became a mother and I thought that maybe I wanted to be a stay at home mom. I quickly realized that I am just too much of a high achieving, heart centered, multi passionate woman who loves to work, and that the stay at home mom life wasn't for me. But I also was not willing to go back to door knocking and working long, crazy hours as a salesperson. I have always had really big dreams. I have always wanted to make a big impact in this world. And so I am so grateful for the experience of having postpartum depression because it really made me stop and take a good hard look at my life and be like, what are you going to do now? Going to a 9 to 5 was definitely not an option. I've literally been fired from every corporate job that I've ever had. Going back into sales where I'm door knocking and I'm like out on the road in the heat, schlepping along, that was also not an option for me because I'm a mom now and I don't want to be away from my kids 12 hours a day. So the first mistake that I made was starting my own coaching business before I knew how to sell. I started a coaching business just helping women entrepreneurs start their own businesses, right? Like my ultimate goal is that I want to make a huge impact on this world. I want to help women become rich and wealthy because I believe that wealth deserves to be in the hands of good people like us. And for the whole first year, I basically heard crickets. I had no idea what I was doing. I had no idea how to start or run a business. I had an amazing offer, but I had no idea how to sell it. I remember having my very first masterclass that I hosted. It was a free masterclass. I invited everybody that I knew to hop on Zoom one night and I was going to talk about my offer. I had zero people show up in the Zoom room. I needed to find a way to get dollars into the bank account, but I did not know how to make that click until an opportunity from God literally fell into my lap. So this coach, that's a friend of mine, she's huge. She has like 100,000 followers and she's constantly getting people booking calls onto her calendar who are interested in working with her. She got to the point where she simply could not take all of these calls because she was so busy running her business, creating her own content, writing emails, serving her clients. And so she asked me to take some of these inbound calls over Zoom to speak to the person, see what their goals are, and then see if it's a good fit for them to enroll in her program. Her program costs $5,000 for 6 months. And every time I enrolled someone, I collect 10%. So every time I sign someone up, who was already interested in working with her, just maybe like needed to answer some questions, I made 500 bucks. I made a ton of money in a really short amount of time and the light bulbs were just going off in my head, and I was just like, "Oh my gosh, it's all starting to click now." So, actually, failing at starting my own coaching business was not a failure at all. It was a stepping stone towards finding high ticket sales. You know how the dots always connect backwards? So, this is when I realized there is an entire industry of coaches and offer owners who need high ticket salespeople to help them take their calls and enroll people in their offer. Although I had sales experience for my entire life, high ticket sales is a little bit different than other kinds of sales. So, what do we do when we want to take the shortcut and get really good at something really, really fast? We invest in a mentor who's already done it. So that's exactly what I did. I made my first $5,000 investment in a high ticket sales coach who helps me really hone in on the skill and get really good. The reason that I chose to go all in on high ticket sales is because it's completely remote. I was able to choose my own hours so that I could set up my schedule however I want. And it's a really fast way to get dollars into the bank account. I made the $5,000 investment in a sales coach because I wanted to take the shortcut. Think about having like a 3-year plan, but being able to make that happen in 6 months. That is what investing in a mentor did. I made my investment back my second month. Of course, I felt some fear and some resistance when it comes to investing 5 grand into myself, but welcome to the human experience. I choose to see fear and resistance as the green light because I know on the other side of that is something freaking huge and amazing. And I'm so glad that I followed my instincts because I was right. I've been a high achiever my whole life. I've been a hustler, a worker my entire life. So I already know that staying in my comfort zone and not doing the scary thing and not doing the thing that stretches you is actually the most dangerous thing that you can do. Because to me, resistance is not the problem. Living a mediocre life, now that's the problem. And I am not willing to settle for that. And if you're one of my people, I know you feel the same way. I'm the kind of person that focuses on the upside. And when I really imagined myself making 10, 15, $20,000 a month, only working about 5 hours a day, and what that could really do for not just my family, but my life as well, there was absolutely nothing that was going to stop me from making a measly $5,000 investment. Because at the end of the day, like that's not enough money where I'm going to have to like sell my house or do anything crazy if I were to have lost the money. So, yeah, learning a new skill, it's going to feel like a little bit of a stretch. It's going to expand your capacity. It's going to be something new. And you got to get through the suck. Everybody sucks at what they first start, right? Like any job that you do, you got to learn, you got to try, you got to go through some growing pains, and you got to get through the suck. But I remember landing my first high ticket closing role, which gave me the opportunity to make over $10,000. And my literal soul was so lit up. I loved being in the energy of other women who were normalizing large amounts of money. I learned so much. I found someone to sell for that I was literally obsessed with. I loved her offer. It felt super aligned with me. And so that showed up energetically in my calls. It was so easy for me to sell. And I made my first $10,000 month. Soon after that, I even got invited to be a high ticket closer at an in person event. I remember going to this event, having a hotel room to myself, getting all dressed up. I made $3,000 in one day. And I remember thinking, like, wow, this is the first time since becoming a mom that I felt like my lit up old self again. One opportunity led to another. I kept getting all these amazing roles and I kept meeting all these amazing people. And I really started falling in love with life again. I remember thinking specifically, like, wow, like this is what it's like to be a mom and to be able to have it all. We don't have to choose a mom or living amazing lives. We can do it all. And I think the one piece of advice that I can give you, and the reason that I've gotten so far in such a short amount of time is that I don't overthink things. If I want to do something, I do it. I follow my heart and I move. Money loves speed. So just take action and do it and follow your heart. And you're going to look back and the dots always connect backwards and you're just going to be like, wow. So I want to invite you to my free masterclass so that you can learn the basics of becoming a high ticket closer as well. So if what I'm saying resonates and you're also a high achieving, heart centered, multi passionate unicorn of a woman who's ready to create more freedom in your life, this is the exact information that I wish I had about 3 to 5 years ago. One of the biggest misconceptions when it comes to sales is that it's like fleazy or icky or slimy or whatever. And it's just such a shame because we've all probably had some sort of like slimy car salesman try to rip us off before. And then we're like using that one bad example and carrying it into the future. The truth is that sales is an art. If you learn sales the right way, people will be thanking you at the end of a sale. That happens to me a lot on my sales calls, and it is the absolute best feeling in the world. Sales is service. Sales is a way to get people to move, to transform, to go on a transformation or a 180 that's going to make them a better person. And the more happy, fulfilled, enriched, brave people we have in this world, the better the world is. And so, this is why I sell like I breathe. I want everyone to say yes to the transformation. I want everyone to take the shortcut and to get to where they want to go in this life, whatever their mission is, whatever their goals are, whatever they're trying to do. If you want to do it fast, you invest in the skills that you need. I'm not saying that you have to, you can take the slow route, but it's not fun that way. And I know for a fact that sales is service because somebody sold me, somebody encouraged me to go for it, to take the shortcut, to invest in the skills that are going to make me a lot of money. And it has changed the trajectory of my life. So, how could I not do that for other people as well? So, some of the frameworks that I teach in my High Ticket Sales Academy is how to make sales feel natural, empowering, and feminine rather than sleazy or slimy or like you're some sort of like snake oil salesman. So, the way to sell and the way that I teach inside of my High Ticket Sales Academy is to always show empathy, ask the right questions, and empower the person to act from their future selves and make decisions based on the future version of them rather than the version that they are today. This is how you get people to move. There's a 3-step sales framework that I walk my students through. The first thing that I teach is creating safety and building rapport. When it comes to feminine sales, we want the other person to like us. We want to connect with them. We want to let them know that we're simply here to help and that they're safe to share whatever they need to share with us. And so, this, if you are good at this, it will cause the person to put their walls down and feel comfortable answering your questions, not just in a surface level way, but in a deep way. The second thing that I teach is uncovering the real problem that these people are experiencing. So, a lot of times, mediocre salespeople, they don't know how to ask the right questions in order to get to the deep problem. They only get to the surface level. And if you're only getting to the surface level, that's not enough to get people to get out their credit cards and actually buy from you. You got to dig deep. So, learning to listen to the person, acknowledge them, and ask the right questions is how to get to the gold. And the third thing is empowering them and leading them to their own decisions. We never, ever, 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 ever in sales want to tell people what to do. That's absolutely you lost the sale. That is totally going to repel somebody. So by understanding how to ask the right questions, we want to get them to say, people never listen to what you tell them to do, but they are always going to listen and believe what comes out of their own mouth. We want to lead people to come to their own conclusion that it is actually way riskier of staying the same versus making the investment, taking the leap, doing the scary thing, and setting themselves up for success for the rest of their lives. Feminine and empowering sales means never being pushy. So let me just take like probably one of the most popular objections and I'm going to roll through it in the masculine sales way, which is what I learned 10 years ago in sales, versus the feminine sales way, which is actually leading people into making their own empowering decision. All right. So, say you get the objection, I need to think about it at the end of the call. The masculine way to handle this objection is being like, yeah, how long do you want to think about it for? You need a day, a week, a month? The feminine and empowering way of handling the objection of I need to think about it is just sitting back, taking a nice deep breath, agreeing with them, and diffusing the issue. Make it not a big deal. Just be like, okay, yeah, sure. That's not a problem at all. And then we want to get curious and ask them what they mean. So, just so that I can understand what you mean better, when you say you want to think about it, is it something with the program that we covered? Or do you mean it's something with like finances or actually like making it happen investment wise? Do you see the difference in the two approaches here? The reason that I'm so passionate about high ticket sales is because it is an amazing way to, number one, create freedom. Number two, fall in love with your life again by prioritizing yourself, the things that you love to do. Number three, be able to be present for your family and for your kids and for your husband. And number four, make a bunch of money because let's be honest, money solves problems. I realized when I was able to make a bunch of money through high ticket sales, then I had the resources to go all in on my business and my bigger mission in this world. And my hopes for everyone who takes my high ticket sales course is for you to collect cash, collect as much money as you need so that you can pursue your biggest, most delusional dreams that you have. Because, like I said earlier, money deserves to be in the hands of good people like us because we will make the world a better place. So, I want you to think about your big why. Like, if you had all the money in the world, what would you do with it? And I know if you're here, you're like me and you would make the world a better place. I love sponsoring children, donating to different charities. I love making a difference in this world. And so I know the more money and the more resources I make, the more I can give back. But then I realized, even bigger picture, I can only do so much. And my mission grew to wanting to help 100 women start making $10 to $20,000 a month in high ticket sales so they too can follow their heart's mission, their path, and they can make a ripple effect in this world as well. My only regret, my only wish is that I would have known about high ticket sales sooner. I know from the bottom of my heart that anyone can become a very successful high ticket closer in a very short amount of time. But the question is, do you believe in yourself? Are you willing to take a bet on yourself? And are you willing to do whatever it takes to make it happen? If this is you, then book a call with me and we can chat about it some more. I have so many amazing success stories from the women who have taken my high ticket sales academy. Amanda, for example, she is a real estate agent who was wanting to make some side income because real estate was kind of slow. So she took my high ticket sales course and she got on a real estate offer and they're selling a $10,000 offer and she closed her very first deal. Like, she's one for one. So she literally made $1,000 on her first call and she's just getting started. Another one of my students, Marion, she closed 4 deals her first week, which paid for my entire course. Carly, who's a PT, landed a high ticket closing role with an online pelvic floor therapy company, and she has already made her investment back after just 30 days. You could literally make your investment back from taking my course and more within a week of landing an offer. So if you're serious about wanting to learn how to master high ticket sales, I'll show you my exact steps that I took in order to land a dream role, start making $10,000 to $15,000 a month from home, and fall in love with life again. I'll teach you the fundamentals of feminine sales so that you can start earning crazy high commissions, making an impact in this world and becoming the powerful creator of your life. So book a call using the link below and we can have a chat about it.